Hey, it's me again coming at you from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fun fact about Utah, Mondays are family nights in Utah, so everything closes at 5. Almost everything closes at 5 p.m. so that people can go home and have family night with their families. Interesting, right? Okay, so today was my second day of grading. I gotta say, I'm doing a lot better, a lot more confident. I was pretty confident, but now I'm like whizzing through the essays. I did, let's see, how many essays did I do today? Almost 175 essays. Yeah. I was talking yesterday about how, because I always tell my kids, oh, you have to give me time, I have to think about it. And you know what's making it go fast is, number one, they're making you grade. Like, you don't have free time. You don't get to, just do it whenever you want. There's bells that ring, like ding ding, and then you start. And I was talking about that yesterday. So if you didn't see a vlog for day 3, you can go back and hear me talk about that. But the other thing I was thinking about that I didn't say yesterday is I think one of the reasons why I can get through the essays so much more quickly than I do for my own students is because I'm not putting any comments on anything. You don't write on the papers. And I had to really do a shift in my mind about that, because when I was getting my training, I was really taking a long time reading the essays. Not a long time, but like, I would read it, the lady would give me maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then she'd be like, what do you score it? And I'd be like, well, I'm only on, the top of page 2 out of 4 in this essay. And she said, you should have it done by now. And I'm like, okay. And then I thought about why it was taking me so long. And I thought, you know what? I'm thinking about how can I tell this person to improve, right? Like, how will I explain to them what they could work on, like what's good about the essay, the feedback that teachers do when they're writing, comments on compositions. So because none of that is there, like my table leader told me today, she said, everything you do in class, all that feedback and stuff is all training, and this is the championship. So either they got it or they don't. You don't sit around thinking about what they could have done, what they might have done, how this could be a 5, or how this, if it was doing this, it might be an 8. You don't think about doing any of that stuff. So that really helped me a lot, because it is what it is on the page, and you just have to say, okay, well, this is what's presented to me. Now, when I talk about what's presented to me, oh, you are not going to believe some of the things that I saw today, right? So obviously there's a bunch of essays, but some kids, believe it or not, decide not to write essays. I got a list of all the things to remember for prom. Okay. I got a whole 2-page essay about why they didn't want to take AP classes. Okay. One of them, I opened up the booklet, and some of my my students that just graduated are going to think this is hilarious. And like, you open the booklet and you expect to see writing on the page, right? Like, obviously. But I opened the booklet and it was a full-page drawing of a bikini model with that character from the Avengers, the bad guy Thanos, with his face on it. And I was not expecting that. And I think I made a noise because the people at my table like looked up at me. But like, when you're expecting a whole page of writing because you've been doing booklet after booklet and that's what it is, it's kind of surprising. So yeah, so some people don't try the test. Weird. Some people are mad about it. Some people rail on their teachers. And I find all of that, kind of sad. One of them was just about how senioritis is real. And I mean, like, I get that. I try to be sympathetic to that stuff, but I'm thinking, by the time you or your school paid for the test and you're already sitting there anyway, I don't know. But I guess some people were talking about how their teachers were just on their phones all the time and didn't show them anything. They didn't read a book, and I'm like, wow. So that part's a little bit sad, but I did read some pretty good essays today. Yesterday I read a lot better essays than today. Today I kept getting packets that were like, 3s and 4s and 5s and 2s. But that's the way it goes sometimes, right? Let me see, what else can I tell you? There's a funny thing that happens here in Salt Lake City, SLC. Right? Every time I see SLC, I keep thinking about my job, because for years we had a homeroom type thing called SLCs. And so like in my mind, that's already engraved in there. And so every time somebody says SLC, I'm thinking, oh, is it Wednesday? You know, like what's going on? But SLC is short for Salt Lake City. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. Salt Lake City has some great architecture. I think maybe either Friday or Saturday, I'm gonna take some architecture pictures and show you about the buildings and stuff that I've been noticing around. One of them is right across the street. There's a beautiful hotel. Some people are staying at that hotel, and it is super fancy. It's so fancy that they say that they have doorbells on their hotel room. Can you believe that? Right? So anyway, so I'll do some architecture pictures Friday or Saturday. Tomorrow is dine out night, plus I think we're gonna go see the practice for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Shout out to my buddy, Mr. Jeff Figueroa. I'm gonna take some video. You can go in and just listen to them do their rehearsals and practice for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. So we're gonna go do that tomorrow and then have a late dinner. So Friday or Saturday, I'll do some architecture pictures. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, tonight. So tonight I'm going to go see a poet. The College Board has invited this poet called Jimmy Santiago Baca to come in and do a presentation and talk to us about his poetry. And I wasn't too familiar with his work. I knew that he was a screenplay writer. And I knew that he did some spoken word poetry, but I've never read a whole lot of his work, so it'd be kind of cool to go and hear him talk about his experiences and his poetry and that kind of thing. Sunday night they're doing some kind of creative writers forum, so I'm not really sure what that's about, but I might go to that. I might not, because my plane leaves Monday at 6 a.m. So I got to be out of here by probably 3:30 or 4, and on the shuttle back to the airport. So I don't know how Sunday night's gonna work out, but we'll make that decision when it gets closer. But anyway, I might jump on when I get back from that talk tonight and add this to the weblog. If not, I will put it on the weblog for tomorrow. But anyway, full night. That one's gonna go until probably 10 o'clock, and then I need to get back and get my rest, because I'll tell you what. You're just sitting in a room grading papers, but it is mentally exhausting. Mentally exhausting. So, and that's only day 2. I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to go. So, wish me luck. Everything's going pretty good here. There's supposed to be some storms coming through, so it's going to go down into like the 50s. So that'll be even better. It's beautiful and sunny, but it gets a little warm in the afternoons. So it'll be nice to have some chilly weather. I might have to buy an extra sweater or something like that. So anyway, signing off for day 4 at the AP grading, and I'll see you tomorrow.